Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a video on 4 things that I want to see in Series 12 of Doctor Who. Excuse me, I haven't written these down, so if I seem to pause quite a lot or seem to be like a lot, that'll probably be why, because as I say, I just never got around to writing these down, and that. So yeah, one of the and they're not in any particular order, obviously. So any of these 4 things would be great. Obviously, all 4 of them would be perfect, but even just 1 or 2 of them would be obviously exactly about half of what I want. So which is an improvement over obviously 0% of what I would like to see in Series 12 of Doctor Who. So yeah, firstly, the first one that springs to mind and is really obvious, and a lot of people will have already said this online a lot, I have noticed, which is the return of classic Doctor Who monsters. I know I did a video back saying, well, should there be classic Doctor Who monsters in Series 12? And that was just more to ask the question, in so much as there weren't any in Series 11, and I was just curious if I produced that video, and I was curious not if there'd be a lot of... I don't mean it to sound like a negative, but I was curious if there'd be loads of pushback and people being like, oh no, I really enjoyed Series 11 because it didn't have any classic Doctor Who monsters, which is fine, you're totally entitled to that opinion, and that's why I wanted to put that out there, or as well, even if the answer to that question for me personally was that I do want to see, obviously, classic monsters in Series 12 of Doctor Who, and I also sort of stated whereabouts I would want those episodes as well, and that. So, because I think the thing is, for me personally, although I want classic monsters to return, I don't want them in every episode, and that. I just want 2 stories with classic monsters, and maybe one could be a 2-parter, the other could be just a single one, or vice versa. They could, both be 2-parters, or maybe both be standalone, I'm not sure, but the 2 that spring to mind as well are the Sontarans, because we haven't had them for a long time. And I'm not including Strax, because I don't really see him as a proper Sontaran in so much as he's a supporting ally character of the Doctor's. He's not a proper Sontaran, as in a bad guy. And then also the Silurians. We haven't seen them since Series 5, so I would really like to see the Silurians come back. And funnily enough, that first 2-parter with the Silurians in Series 5 was penned by Chris Chibnall. Then you see a Silurian, I think, again in Husbands of River Song, and then they're heavily mentioned and are sort of connected to dinosaurs on a spaceship, so, which was another Chris Chibnall penned episode. And I just think that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, they'd make her, or put her in 2 very interesting situations, in so much as the Sontaran one, you could have like these uber, sort of testosterone fueled sort of like warrior race that obviously clash with the Doctor's, sort of ideology of peace and love and caring for everyone, and that. Obviously, that's totally sort of amplified with the whole sort of, caring sort of female sort of 13th Doctor that we got in Series 11, so to have that in Series 12 would be really good. And then also you could see the diplomatic side, and again the sort of caring, nurturing side maybe of the Doctor and this incarnation of the Doctor when we see the return of the Silurians, because again I have this just sort of images of obviously humans trying to attack some of the Silurians, and her just trying to be, in the middle of it, being like, chill out, to 2 different warring factions, as it were, and that. And I think it'd be really interesting. Another thing I want to see back would be 2-parters, just because, and I briefly mentioned them a minute ago, just because it gives us more time to flesh out stories, develop things. I know that they gave us less episodes and gave us like 5-10 minutes longer episodes, I think. Instead of 45 minutes, each episode's supposed to be 50. But honestly, I'd rather just have 45-minute episodes and then also two-parters. And that, honestly, I think two-parters are great. That means that you get the cliffhanger as well back, as well as also from the BBC's perspective. I'm surprised they don't seem to like two-parters, because in all honesty, surely it would be more cost efficient to do two-parters, because you could reuse sets and that, and also, you know, just film all that one story in one big block, as it were. You know, you don't have to, like, you know, episode 1, you know, Woman Who Fell to Earth, and episode 2, Ghost Monument, are in two completely different locations. One's in Sheffield, one's filmed in, you know, South Africa. But if Ghost Monument was a two-parter, or A Woman Who Fell to Earth was a two-parter, and then they moved, obviously, Ghost Monument to episode 3, then you'd have more sort of time to just air out things and world build as well, you know, and as well, just, as I say, get more sort of location shots and reuse certain things and that, and it'd just be a bit more handy, I think. As well, for an audience, as I say, it develops characters and the world more, and that, and just the story as well. If there's enough content there, I think sometimes, obviously, two-parters are a lot better for giving us more of a world or a character if it's necessary, and that, and I think in some cases it could have been beneficial in some cases in Series 11 to have a two-parter maybe as well, you know, and that, so yeah. Number 3 would probably be more episodes, and by more episodes I just literally mean like 1 or 2 more episodes, that's all. Like, I'm not asking for much, I'm just asking for like 1 or 2 more episodes to be in the series, in Series 12, you know, because at the moment we're down to 10 episodes, 10 episodes, or 11 including the, 11 including the New Year's special and that. But yeah, I think Series 11 was very lackluster in so much as, in terms of, obviously, purely on how many stories we got and or episodes we got. We only got 10, as I say, in Series 11, and yeah, so since Russell's era through to now, that is the least amount of episodes we've ever had for a series of Doctor Who, so just 1 or 2 more episodes, and that. Maybe you could get rid of the New Year special, I don't know, or just, as I say, have an 11 episode series and then the New Year special, so technically 12 we'd be back up to, and that, episode wise, and then for the life of me I can't remember what the 4th thing was that I was going to pick. I've picked returning classic monsters, 2-parters, more episodes, I don't know, maybe just less companions, obviously, but the only way they could do that is if, obviously, they kill off a character, and the only character I would really have some sort of an emotional sort of reaction to if they were to die in the series would obviously be Graham. Ryan is alright, and Yaz is, well, Yaz supposedly is supposed to get more development in Series 12, but yeah, so, I mean, yeah, less companions, or more, or maybe not even that, but just more sort of utilising the companions better, obviously, would be something that I'd like to see in Series 12, because they weren't utilised particularly, not even particularly well in Series 11, they were just not, like, they weren't used to their full potential, basically. They could have been better, but it could have been worse. It was just sort of okay, what they did with the companions, in my opinion. Like, I don't think they were the worst companions ever, but I don't think they were the best companions ever. I think, basically, for Series 12, there's a lot of room to grow and develop and and learn from Series 11's mistakes. There's a lot of, as I say, like, for lack of a better term, wiggle room, and there's a lot to fill with these characters, I think, in terms of the development across Series 12, ideally, and that, you know, and I think that's what I want to see from Series 11, either less companions or write them better, and that, you know, or have them be a bit better, or be, you know, like, have companion focused episodes, you know, like one episode centric on Yaz, then the other one focuses on Graham and Ryan, and then just Graham, maybe, I don't know, but, and then just have a Doctor Light episode, or a Companion Light episode, maybe, or vice versa, a Doctor Light episode where it's mainly just the companions who are in the story, or we only see the Doctor for, like, you know, a snippet, 5 or 10 minutes at the beginning and 5 or 10 minutes at the end, but the middle chunk is predominantly just Yaz, Graham and Ryan, maybe, trying to figure out how to get back to the Doctor, maybe. But yeah, those are 4 things that I really like to see in Series 12 of Doctor Who. Please do like, comment and share, and yeah, comment below what you think should happen and or you would like to see in Series 12 of Doctor Who. Thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.